Hi, everyone. So, Mars in Leo is about to square Uranus in Taurus. And when that happens, tempers can flare, conversations can explode. So, this is a really good time to really have a strong sense of self awareness and use your intuition to make sure that you are not saying things that you might later regret, things that you can't take back, and also to really kind of expect that that's the energy around us and that we could expect tempers flaring from other people. So let's start with an answer. Look at that. Our ancestor message that we just randomly pulled says furious. And this is what I'm talking about. This, when Mars squares Uranus, especially with Leo and Taurus involved, there can be fury, there can be all kinds of very dramatic types of interactions. And so again, there is this opportunity for us to really tune into our intuition so that we are keeping these types of interactions to a minimum. So let's get a message from your animal spirit guide. And we have dog. And this says, your loyalty and faithfulness is misplaced by serving too many masters. So it could be that you're being loyal to the wrong person or to too many people. This makes me think of a people pleaser. So there may be someone in your energy who is a people pleaser, or perhaps you are an overgiver. And that may be the thing that you just feel like the last straw is going to happen during this time. So let's find out what the tarot wants to say and see if we can get some more advice about our interactions during this time so that we can really try to be careful about how we speak to each other and how we go about these things, and making sure that we don't say anything just flying off the handle and then later saying, why did I do it that way? So let's see what the tarot has to say. So we have the Sun, the Chariot, the Tower, and the Hanged Man. Wow, did you guys notice that these are all majors? Underneath, Page of Pentacles, Death, so there's another major, Knight of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Star, which I'm going to flip over, but that was the Star. I'm just trying to meet the YouTube guidelines. So let's get into this. So we already know that we're starting out this energy with someone, you or someone else, being furious, which fits with these planets squaring up against each other. And that it might have to do with overgiving, have to do with people pleasing. The Star was hiding underneath the deck, and there are a lot of majors here. What is that? 6 majors in a 9-card spread. So this is really telling me that whatever happened in your past, that you're starting to move past that. The Star doesn't show up unless something painful happened, unless there was a sudden change that you were not expecting. There's a lot of reasons why a Star would have to happen, but it means that something dark or something difficult already happened. And so when the Star shows up, it means you're starting to release the worry from those situations. You're starting to have hope in a situation again. You're starting to believe in yourself again, which is where we want to be. But it looks like during this time with these planets squaring each other, that it feels like it's going to be a bit of a ride again. And so I think that's what this message is coming in to tell you, so that you can be aware of that and know how to handle it. I do see 2 people in this reading. There's one showing up as a Page of Pentacles and one showing up as a Knight of Cups. So I do believe there's more than one person in your energy. And I think there's one person who really wants to help you and another person who might be causing trouble. But we're going to get into it. We're going to unpack it. We're going to do column by column. So you are being asked to focus on staying optimistic. But what I'm also getting from this is self-awareness. Be very clear about your own actions. Make sure you're very enlightened and illuminated about what you're bringing to the situation that might be contributing to a fight that might ensue. So just be very clear about what you're bringing to this argument, conversation, and how you can hold yourself back, and what kinds of um, clarity do you need about the consequences for your own actions that might cause you to just take a deep breath and to walk away from a situation instead of engaging in a fight. So I do feel like there is one situation that's avoided, and this Page of Pentacles person is feeling like someone who might be going through a rough patch right now, a person in your life, but it feels like if you're clear about how you approach that person, or if you gently tell that person that here's how I can help you, but here's how I'm not going to help you, and set a strong boundary, I feel like that's one area that you can really help yourself during this time, just to set a clear boundary with people who are perhaps asking for too much, because we did get your loyalty is being served to too many people. So I feel like, and these are the too many people, right? We're seeing multiple people in this reading, which means you're giving and giving and giving to these people. But here it's saying, be very clear about what you're willing to give, because if you're not even sure what's too much, and you're giving and giving and giving, it's not reasonable to be upset with the people you're giving to if you've never really set that boundary with yourself. So, but I do think the challenge with the Chariot and the Death is that you do want to continue to give, but you also know that there's a reason that you need to really transform yourself and think about just how much you are overgiving in these situations. The Chariot and the Death card are almost giving me, especially because we have the Hanged Man in so many majors, this is almost giving me the feeling that there's a wisdom that can come through you with the Chariot and the Death together that can only come from inside of you. So if you're use your clairvoyance skills in order to get the answer to this. But I feel like there's an opportunity for you to really move forward, but in your own personal growth with the Death card, to really move forward in your self-awareness, and again with boundaries. I keep getting boundaries because there are too many people that you are over giving to. And with this Death card, that is your challenge. The challenge is to change the way that you look at this, to change your thinking that you have to be loyal to the same people or the same person who probably don't give back to you. And that really seeing the truth and the clarity in that situation with the Sun, and seeing the people who are around you that might be taking too much from you. So this message is very clear with the Tower and the Knight of Cups, that there is another person around you who also you're giving too much to, but they're telling you to just burn that down. They're telling you to burn that bridge. So there's someone in your energy who they're saying, well, this person just needs a healthy boundary. That one's fine. This person you just need to cut out of your life altogether. It feels like that's the truth of the situation, that the universe is really trying to show you with this Tower energy that if you don't burn this bridge, the universe is going to do it for you, because it's such an insecure relationship. It's got a bad foundation and it needs to come down. And that with the Knight of Cups, you may have feelings for this person. You might have love for this person. This could be a friend, a family member, a lover. Make it make sense for you. So you may be feeling like you don't want to release this person, that you might feel sad if you didn't have them in your life anymore. You might feel like you're grieving in some sense, but the universe is saying that this person is taking way too much from you, because we have this Dog card and we have these two people. And so the universe is really saying, the cards are really saying to burn this bridge, but set a boundary here. So you know who you're giving too much to. And if there are more than one people, if there are multiple people in your energy that you're over giving to, then really try to think about what that means to you and how much you want to give and how much you're willing to give. Be firm with those boundaries and really just cut off the people who you know you don't want to give any more to at all. So I like the final outcome, the potential outcome for you in this situation, because I do think that you becoming furious with these two planets squaring is what's going to drive this massive transformation inside of you, that you're not going to look at this situation the same anymore. It's going to dawn on you that these two people or more, depending on your situation, are taking way too much of you, your energy, your resources, your finances. Make it make sense for you. But you're going to be able to look at this in a different perspective, that the fury that you might feel towards these people might be the motivation you need to say, you're done. You are cut off forever. We don't need to be friends anymore because it's such a lopsided friendship, and I'm tired of you taking advantage of me. That's just a random example. But the Hanged Man and the Hierophant are telling me that not only is your potential outcome one where you're going to look at these two people differently and never going back to seeing them in another way or the way you used to, because the Death card is telling me that. This Hanged Man is very clearly saying that you are going to flip the script on them and say, no, I'm taking care of myself now. I'm done taking care of you. You are ready to take care of yourself. These feel like very immature types of energies, and it may be because they've grown to rely on you. I'm obviously not talking about children, because children do need to rely on you. I'm talking about grown people who should be taking care of themselves, but perhaps you've been doing it just a little too long, and now you're going to see that differently, and you're not going to be able to unsee that. And the Hierophant is the spiritual lesson. That's the lesson the universe is trying to teach you. The universe is giving you a gift with this tower. The universe is always doing you a favor when the tower comes down. Whether we like it or not, it could cause us some discomfort for a while, but it's always doing us a favor when that tower comes down. So when this relationship burns to the ground, or whatever that means for you, or when you decide to end this relationship, that was the lesson. The importance of that relationship and your overgiving, perhaps a codependency, that was your spiritual lesson, to really just start to believe in yourself with the Star card that we saw here. Continue to pour that into yourself. Release the worry of having to take care of other people and really just decide to take care of yourself. So let's get a few more tarot cards to see if we can get a few more messages. But this does feel pretty clear. So the Sun and the Page of Pentacles is clarified by the Hanged One. So we're getting the Hanged Man again. So this is a very strong time and opportunity for you to transition, to really surrender this and to sacrifice the relationships that are not good for you. Again, it looks like there's one that still has potential with the Page, because the Page is about potential. So it feels like there is one relationship that still has potential, just needs boundaries. But this one here with the Tower and the Knight of Cups, the cards are very clearly saying this person doesn't even belong in your life. Like, why is this person even still in your life? And that's what the Hanged Man is trying to get you to see, that there's a lesson there. Feels like this relationship is the most important one for you to really become aware of and put that enlightenment into. The Chariot and Death are clarified by the King of Swords. The King of Swords is all about truth and knowing the absolute truth in a situation. The King of Swords does not play games. The King of Swords does not wear a mask. The King of Swords is very clear and straightforward and communicative exactly about what they want. And you are showing up as this King of Swords. You are going to say to this person, these are the boundaries I am setting. This is what I will do for you. This is what I will no longer do for you. And the King of Swords has no problem telling this person that I am not willing to do anything for you anymore. So that's not my problem anymore. The Tower and the Knight of Cups is clarified by the Wheel of Fortune. This is a huge shift in the destiny for you. Once you learn this lesson and understand that this person needed to be removed from your life, from your energy, make that make sense, that is exactly when you're going to start to elevate with this Wheel of Fortune. The energy shifts, the destiny shifts, and you're going to just understand that adapting to this new way of being and setting down your boundaries is the best way that you can elevate yourself, ascend, glow up, whatever the terminology is that you use to describe that. But that's when that's all going to happen. Everything's going to change from that point because you've flipped the script, you've learned your lessons, and that's all the universe wanted you to do, was to learn to know which people shouldn't be in your life, who's been there too long, and who needs a boundary. The Hanged Man and the Hierophant are clarified by the Knight of Cups. So this ties back to this. This is saying this person who was in your life, who was taking advantage of you and probably giving you nothing in return, that was the opportunity. This was your chance to look at yourself differently, look at the energy differently, and really learn this lesson. This was your opportunity here to learn. This person was put in your life so that you could learn to set boundaries and just tell people, I can't help you anymore. I'm sorry, but I can't. It's time for you to do it on your own. So wow, so that is our reading for Mars about to square Uranus. Will you please let me know how this was resonant for you? Consider subscribing to the channel if you like my vibe, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.